Hi everybody, my name is Rachel. I make videos on whatever interests me, and in doing so, I hope it interests you. Today we're going to be talking about female or same-sex friendships. Scary, right? Now in this video, when I talk about the gender binary, I'm specifically speaking on how you identify your identity, male or female, and if you don't fit into either category, that's fine too. By the way, exciting news, I do have new social media. My handle is OG Rachel Marie because I'm the one and only. Just kidding, Rachel Marie is a basic name. I know, there's a lot of them out there. We all unite. I even know, like, in person Rachel Marie's. I'm going to be using this the whole video to keep me cool because I have the ring light on and it's 80 degrees, so beautiful. Okay, let's begin on this conversation. I just want to give a disclaimer out there that I have been guilty. I have fallen into the trap of saying,
I'm only friends with guys, girls are so hard to be friends with.
I have been that person. So coming from someone who has learned and grown, I just want to say that it's okay. It's okay to have thought that way. It's okay to be conflicted and confused because this is what, unfortunately, the patriarchy teaches us. But I really, because of this, wanted to talk about the importance of female friendships and what I've learned over the years. Well, let's talk about the patriarchy. Since the beginning of time, females have been pitted against each other. In fact, Aristotle believed that only males could really have true friendships. What a guy. And as Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie says in her TED Talk, Why We Should All Be Feminists, we raise girls to treat each other or see each other as competitors, not for jobs or accomplishments, which I think can be a good thing, but for the attention of men. So, under the patriarchy, we learn that females are competitors. That we have to, when we see someone, another woman, we have to compare ourselves to them, which makes it really hard when we're all trying to be friends, right? We learn to be critical of ourselves and others, and we learn to place the blames on females because females are too difficult to deal with. So what you're saying is you want to continue to perpetuate false stereotypes, false narratives, and false tropes against women. And that, my dear friends, is why it is so important to form supportive, honest female friendships amongst other women. And I want to make it very clear, I am not advocating solely for the purpose of white woman heterosexual feminism. I am arguing for a complete, diverse, inclusive feminism that encompasses all sexual identities, all classes, all races, and all genders. Feminism, in the context I am speaking of, is what combats these cultural myths about female friendships. Now, this might just be my opinion, but I know that it's not. Female friendships, specifically female breakups or same-sex friendship breakups, can be more difficult than a romantic breakup itself. Now, to strengthen my argument, I am going to be providing research and studies, but to make this more fun, I definitely will be paraphrasing. Everything I cite will be referenced down in the description box, so make sure to check that out if you want to do more of your own research on female friendships. So research in 2003 by Joyce F. Benenson and Athena Christakos states that out of their study that they have enacted, females' current friendships were of shorter duration than of male same-sex friendships. And this is all due to the fact that females have greater intimacy within their friendships. They tell each other a lot of personal things. Good job, females, we can be vulnerable. So yes, that means that females get personal with each other. They divulge personal information to each other, and in result, when conflicts arise, more problems can arise because we know more about each other. Now, according to Judith Keegan Gardner, research shows that being a part of a group that meets just once a month will give you the same increase in happiness as doubling your salary. So that's just to say, friendships are important. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I am treating this video kind of like a podcast, so let's talk about my experience. And I'm going to be using Tori as an example because I know that she doesn't mind me talking about her and talking about her friendship. We both are really open. We've known each other and been friends with each other since we were 14, so that's almost 10 years of friendship. But throughout our friendship, we've had turmoil, we've had times where we didn't talk to each other, where we both were toxic to each other, where we both needed space before we could work things out and communicate effectively. And you know what contributes to that? Change. Change is inevitable. We change, we grow, we learn, we discover ourselves. It's, like I said, inevitable. It's going to happen, and as a result of that, your friendships change. And if they're not growing, if you're not communicating through them, they can kind of fizzle out. And like I said, what Tori and I were able to do together all these years is communicate. Difficult conversations had to be had for us to grow as friends. And I say that with proper discernment because sometimes friendships aren't meant to last. Sometimes you need to give friendships breaks, or sometimes they're out of your life for a reason. So again, use proper judgment. But with Tori and I, we had hiccups along the way where we both were able to humble ourselves and So I've had to close my windows and I can't turn my fan on because it's noisy, and that results in me sitting in a pool of sweat. These birds, my God! I've experienced, I'm laughing through the birds right now. I've experienced codependent friendships, and what I have learned along the way is that it does not lead to a healthy, long-lasting friendship at all. And I gotta be honest, sometimes we're the problem. And what those friendships teach you are valuable life lessons that you can apply to your future to better your future and your present. But I get it, because friend breakups are hard. We all have to go through them at some point to learn how to be a better friend in the future, and to learn what you don't like in a friendship, or to learn how to set boundaries in a friendship. So give yourself the forgiveness and give the other person forgiveness and move on and live in the present, because that's all you can do. Okay, lastly, I want to finish this video off with the icing on the cake, and that is Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. I recently reread it and just fell in love with the chapter How to Be Friends with Another Woman. So this chapter is really brief, I'm pretty sure, yes. This chapter is really brief. It is just 13 rules that she writes about, and this is a very, very good book of little vignettes or stories of her life and what it means to be a bad feminist. So if you're interested in reading awesome literature or awesome books, so we're just going to be reading some of these rules. I hopefully will get to all of them, but if not, I will leave a link down below. You can actually read it with me as I read it. It's just a little article that states all her rules, so it just takes this chapter and puts it online. So I'm going to read it because I think it's very, very important. She nails everything. So rule 1 is abandon the cultural myth that all female friendships must be bitchy, toxic, or competitive. This myth is like heels and purses. Pretty, but designed to slow women down. True. 1A. This is not to say women aren't bitches or toxic or competitive sometimes, but rather to say that these are not defining characteristics of female friendship, especially as you get older. If you find that you are feeling bitchy, toxic, or competitive towards the women who are supposed to be your closest friends, look at why and figure out how to fix it, and or find someone who can help you fix it. This is really important because a lot of times we don't like to place the blame on ourselves, but we all need to actively be putting in the work as well. 2, a lot of ink is given over to mythologizing female friendships as curious, fragile friendships that are always intensely fraught. Stop reading, writing that encourages this mythology. 3, if you're the kind of woman who says, I'm mostly friends with guys, and act like you're proud of that, like that makes you closer to being a man or something less of a woman, as if being a woman is a bad thing, see item 1B. It's okay if most of your friends are guys, but if you champion this as a commentary on the nature of female friendships, well, soul search a little. If you feel like it's hard to be friends with women, consider that maybe women aren't the problem. Maybe it's you. I used to be this kind of woman. I'm sorry to judge. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Because I feel like that's what society feeds us, to say that, to give up on female friendships. 4, sometimes your friends will date people you cannot stand. You can either be honest about your feelings or you can lie. There are good reasons for both. Sometimes you will be the person dating someone your friends cannot stand. If your man or woman is a scrub, just own it so your friends can talk about more interesting things. My go-to explanation is, I'm dating an asshole because I'm lazy. You're welcome to borrow it. 5, want nothing but the best of your friends, because when your friends are happy and successful, it's probably going to be easier for you to be happy. If you're having a rough go at it and a friend is having the best year ever and you need to think some dark thoughts about that, do it alone with your therapist or in your diary so that when you actually see your friend, you can avoid the myth discussed in item 1. If you and your friends are in the same field and you can collaborate or help each other, do this without shame. It is not your fault your friends are awesome. Men invented nepotism and practically live by it. It's okay for a woman to do it too. Don't tear other women down, because even if they're not your friends, they are women, and this is just as important. This is not to say you cannot criticize other women, but understand the difference between criticizing constructively and tearing down cruelly. It goes to 5D, like she takes little sections off of that rule. So everybody gossips, so if you're going to gossip about your friends, at least make it fun and interesting. As a corollary, never say, I never lie or I never gossip, because you are lying. True. Love your friends' kids even if you don't want or like children. Just do it. Tell your friends the hard truths they need to hear. They might get pissed about it, but it's probably for their own good. Once, my best friend told me to get my love life together and demanded an action plan. It was irritating, but also useful. Don't be totally rude about truth-telling. Consider how much truth is actually needed to get the job done. Finesse goes a long way. These conversations are more fun when preceded by an emphatic, girl. Surround yourself with women you can get sloppy drunk with, who won't draw stupid things on your face if you pass out, and who will help you puke if you over-celebrate, and who will also tell you if you get sloppy drunk too much or behave badly when you are sloppy drunk. That is so true. So true. Okay, when your friends get sloppy drunk, take care of them, because you can be put in dangerous situations if not, especially if you're out in public. Okay, rule 8. Don't flirt, have sex, or engage in emotional affairs with your friends' significant others. Wow. This shouldn't need to be said, but it needs to be said. That significant other is an asshole. You don't want to be involved with an asshole who's used goods. If you want to be with an asshole, get a fresh asshole of your very own. They're abundant. 9. Don't let your friends buy ugly outfits or accessories you don't want to look at when you hang out. This is just common sense. 10. When something's wrong and you need to talk to your friends and they ask you how you are, don't say fine. They know you're lying and it irritates them, and a lot of time is wasted with the back and forth. Are you sure? And yes, and really, and I am fine. Tell your lady friends the truth so you could talk it out and either sulk companionably or move on to other topics. If 4 people are dining, split the check evenly 4 ways. We're adults now. We don't need to add up what each person had anymore. If you're high rolling, just treat everyone and rotate who treats. If you're still in the broke stage, do what you have to do. 12. If a friend sends a crazy email needing reassurance, text. If a friend sends a crazy email or text needing reassurance about love, life, family, or work, respond accordingly in a timely manner, even if it's just to say, girl, I hear you. If your friend sends you like 30 crazy emails needing reassurance about the same shit, be patient, because one day that's going to be you tearing up Gmail with all your drama. My mother's favorite saying is, qui se ressemble semble. I can't obviously read French. Whenever she didn't approve of who I was spending time with, she would say this ominously. This means essentially you are whom you surround yourself with. Thank you all to the people who have watched or made it to the end of this video. You are the real one. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please let me know what you guys think about female friendships. If you have any stories you want to share or what your thoughts are about this video. I'm also interested in getting more friends and family on board to talk about the subject over the camera, and we'll have a little chat or something. So let me know what you guys think. Anyways, I love you all, and I am looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Okay, bye!